Hey guys, it's Michael Furlong from Rentroll Maximiser, and I have the pleasure, I actually feel a little bit inadequate. Rebecca Berry, award winner. I love talking to winners. You're the award winner for the Real Estate Institute of Victoria, so the REIV, Operational Leadership. Now that's not an easy one to win. You're up against some tough competition. Department head, St Kilda, Hockingstuart Belle Network. Congratulations. Hello.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I like being a winner too, so I'm very happy about that.
How's that for an intro? That took longer than the interview. Well done. And look, going back through, and we've been chatting for a little while, going back through, am I right in thinking, I thought there was a couple of others that you'd won, but there were a few that I'd missed along the way. And again, I'm not sort of following your career, but you need to have a bloody big mantelpiece for all of these awards.
I do, and you know what I need to have is a really big Christmas party, because we haven't been able to celebrate any of our awards this year properly anyway, in style.
So now yours, so let's do this correctly. It's the 2020 Awards for Excellence, Operational Leadership. Mm-hmm. So when you're winning an award like that, you're the recipient, but clearly it's not you. You're the figurehead, mm-hmm. but it's the team that's involved. So you must have a pretty sensational team behind there.
100%, and I couldn't agree more. I do have a sensational team. Winning that award really has come down to the support that I've had over the years and who I've employed very carefully. I think my interview process has really developed over the years, and to me, it doesn't matter about experience, what experience a person has had. It's all about their attitude, because I can train them to be amazing, but I can't change people's attitudes. So I've been very, very careful over the years to handpick the people that are going to suit our business and our culture. And I've got the right people now. And I think that is why I've been in the position this year to be able to win this award. And like you say, it's not a personal award for me. It's an award for the entire department.
Oh, please don't think I'm trying to take it away from you. You
absolutely
deserve it.
It'll be on my mantelpiece, don't worry.
Yeah, but it's not like Property Manager of the Year,
yeah.
which is specifically them, or if it's BDM, it's them. Administration, operational. It's you leading the team as the figurehead. But the agencies had some success this year. So we first met through when we were doing some training at Hockingstuart. Yeah. So the Hockingstuart network has had some changes with the merging Bell. Some of the offices have gone across. You've done that as well. So you had Franchise of the Year this year. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, Franchise of the Year. We also had the Customer Experience Survey of the Year as well.
So is that through NPS? Do you use that, or use another program? How are you?
That is, we do have an NPS survey go out as well, but I also believe they weight it on our Google reviews too, and maybe a few other platforms that I'm not aware of. So it's a few things, yeah. Now,
I think I'm going to talk to you about Google reviews in a second, but I might even just look at my notes. Is it 420, 441? 425, and I've already done my research.
Yeah.
425 Google reviews and a 4.9 rating.
Yeah.
Sensational.
Yeah. It is, thank you. I've worked really, really hard over the last few years to get it up there. And when I say I have, my team have. They've just gone above and beyond to get it to where it is now. And I think when we started doing this Google review drive, I think we might have had about 5 reviews.
Really?
Yeah, because no one had ever worked on it before. I've been in this department manager position for about 4 years here now. And when I came in, I thought, right, it's time to really elevate this platform, and here we go. So,
can I ask you a question? And you may not have been in this training, but I know that I did this with the group, with the network. I put everyone's, at one of the Hockingstuart trainings, I put everyone's Google reviews up on the board.
Yeah.
Were you in that session that I did that?
I can't remember, but maybe that's what inspired me.
So what I did was I went through, because at that stage there were 54 offices in the network.
Yeah.
And I put all 54 offices. There are a couple that are combined ownerships, and I put them all up, and I put their Google review and their ranking.
Yeah.
And then and there was like 60, 70 people in the training room, and I said, here you go, guys. This is where you sit within your own network. But don't compete against anyone else, compete against yourself. Have a look. And it was a real Google review strategy. I don't know whether you were in that room, but I tell you what, I'm going to take credit for it.
Take credit for it. Look, I think I might have been in that room.
But it's interesting to have a look at it and analyse. And it wasn't part of the strategy to get more numbers. What I think is really important is to write responses. And do you do that? Do you write a response?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's always interesting. I speak to agents when they get a negative review and they're so downsodden. And I say negative reviews are great.
Yeah.
Particularly if it's a tenant. If a tenant's written in and said, I didn't get my bond back, I say, well, that's great from an agency point of view to articulate what their service is. Like we're really particular about making sure the property's handed back in a good condition and for the next time, just like you got it. And so write a response as though a new landlord's looking at it. Do you pick up a lot of work from your Google reviews?
We do. I can tell you now, and I haven't really done the stats on it, but I would say we probably get at least 2 calls a week.
Yep.
I always make sure that I ask how they found us, and it's usually we Googled real estate agencies in St Kilda. We came across yours that had the highest Google rating, so we called you.
So if an average property is worth $5,000 in asset value, it might be more or less, but if it's worth $5,000 in rent roll value, that's 10 grand a week, $500,000 a year that you're building into your portfolio from Google.
Yeah.
That's
it's absolutely worth it. And like you said as well, it is so important that you're responding to those Google reviews, whether they be positive or negative. Use it as a platform to show how genuine you are, how much time you're going to give people, because it's so important.
So talk to me a little bit about the culture within your office for awards. Is there somebody in your office? Are you the figurehead? Do you have an admin person that looks out for them? Because there's lots. There's some of those awards that you get that you don't even know you've entered. Some of those subscription companies, they have an award that it's the whatever, I'm the winner of, and I'm like, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
But REIV, that's a big one to be in.
Yeah. So we've only really just started applying for awards in the last year. I thought we've done so well in previous years. It's time to get on this bandwagon, and we've applied for the REV ones. I have been doing the applications myself for many of them. My director and I, we go through them together, make sure they're well written. I would generally write them with his assistance and send them to him for proofing. We also ask members of our team if we're applying for, let's say, the property manager or the BDM, if there's anything that they'd like to add, because often there's questions that they really need to write themselves. So it is a bit of a group effort.
Yes.
And it's been very interesting because there's a lot involved in some of these questions that you have to answer.
The award process is significant. But when I'm working with agencies, Beck, what I try to say is use the awards as an annual incentive. And maybe you look back on this and hopefully you agree. It's the process. It's not the result. So whether you win or you lose, it's nice and it's good. It's great if you can go there and have a celebration. I did see, it was really cute. I did see your little jiggle, if that's what it was, the dance when you won. If that's what it was like a little leprechaun jumping up.
I was so excited. I really didn't expect it. I really, really didn't. And it literally threw me out of my seat. And that's what you saw.
Do you normally go to the REIV Awards?
No, I've never been before.
See, I can, again, I think it was the 2012 awards. I've been out of agency for 5 years. I reckon it was the 2012. We were a finalist for Property Management Company of the Year.
Yeah.
And the couple of years beforehand, our agency was a disaster. But we really worked hard on the property management side of things. Yeah. And then 2012, we won. We were a finalist. 2012 for REIV. 2013, we won Property Management Company of the Year for LPMA. 2014, we're a finalist. Wow. The interesting thing about it is that you actually develop a mindset, a culture.
Yeah.
It's all of your language, all of your discussion is around, we're now an award-winning agency. How have you found that in your team? Do they walk a little bit taller?
They absolutely do. the joy that they get each time they win these type of accolades, they thrive on this for the next 6 months. It brings them so much pleasure and so much excitement that they really do, and they work even harder so that they have an opportunity to win the next thing that we can apply for.
And so do you think that it's an important aspect for your landlords? Do you think your landlords care when they're making a decision? So let's break this up to new landlords versus existing. So new landlords, do you think it's important that it's award-winning versus not?
For new landlords?
For new clients, yeah.
I think it's a good selling point when my BDM goes to a property, absolutely. We try not to sell it like, oh, we're the best. You know, we try not to be too sort of up ourselves about it, let's say. But I think it is a good selling point, definitely. Current landlords, we haven't really had too much feedback from them about winning our accolades. We always have it on our signature banners, and we might send a little thing out in a newsletter here and there, but we really don't have too much feedback. I think they know that they're with us because of the good service that we give them, and I don't really think they bother too much about. What
about tenants?
Tenants?
Do you think it matters to tenants? Do you think they even care?
No, I don't. I don't think they care that much.
No. So here's the next one. So landlords, new ones, I think it's an advantage. Yeah. Landlords existing, they could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Tenants couldn't give a rat's.
Yeah.
But staff.
Yeah.
The power that you have when you're recruiting next time, the power you have when you're doing your performance reviews, the power for, and I think it comes back to an award-winning mindset and culture, which it sounds like you're very focused on.
It is a huge selling point in the recruitment process, and I use that a lot as a selling point. And I have a lot of followers on LinkedIn now as well, and I post all of our winnings on there as well. And I've found people through LinkedIn for property management jobs, and people approach me now. I have almost a list of property managers who want to come and work at this office just from consistently engaging with people on LinkedIn, social media as well. And every time like I said to you before, earlier on when we were speaking, when I find out who wins these awards or even finalists for these awards, I'll reach out to them and I'll say, you know, congratulations for being a finalist. I want them to know who I am. I'll add them on my social media. I'll speak to them here and there. And it's a great recruiting tool.
And you almost feel like you're part of an additional team, because you're now in that upper echelon where maybe 12 years ago when you were first starting, you were looking at these names in the industry and you sort of had those up a little bit. I think right now Rebecca Berry's name is up there, and that's why people want to work for you. I certainly do.
I hope so.
Oh no, absolutely. As I said, I sort of watch from afar, and I spend a lot of time in and around agencies, and there's some good ones, of which yours is one, and then there's some others which not so great, which I spend a lot of time in. Yeah. You can bring me in. I'd love to do some work there, but I don't know if I'm needed. So when you're having a look, what would be your final, as we wrap up, what would be your final advice for somebody that's sitting there as an agency going, it's all too hard, I'm not going to win, I don't want to do it, and I don't want to be disappointed about submitting for awards? Would you suggest they should just power through and do it anyway? You
know what? If you're not in it, you're not going to win it. So try. You'll learn from your mistakes. Your first application doesn't need to be the winning one. If it's no good, try again the next year and seek advice for people who have won previously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And again, congratulations on the awards. Not only just this one, but what I think you've done is you've developed an award-winning culture, which is not going to show up on your balance sheet, but it's certainly it should be a value add in there, because that's what makes businesses successful or not. So you're on the right path. Well done, Beck. It's been great chatting with you. Until next time.
Thank you.
If anyone's looking for rental properties in the St Kilda, South Yarra, are you able to go to South Yarra or not?
Can do. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you geographically bound?
No. We can go Elwood, Brighton as well, St Kilda East, some in Caulfield.
Yeah. So I'll do the ad for you. Good quality owners that want a good quality property manager. No one that's looking for cheapy, shonky agents. Don't want them. We don't want any dodgy landlords. Just good landlords. Is that right?
Yeah, and a few block owners as well. Cheers.
They're coming up. So Rebecca Berry, Department Head, St Kilda, Belle, Hockingstuart. Thank you very much. Great chatting.
Thank you. Bye.